Dave, I want to tell you there's still hope for the 2024 Saints, but hope pulled a hamstring and is out 4 to 6 weeks. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to Saints Happy Hour podcast. We never skip a drink day.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Now grab a drink and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. We are presented by Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. I'm Ralph Marlboro. I'm joined by Dave. We're going to be joined by Andrew eventually, maybe, possibly. We moved the whole shebang so he could be here to talk about the huge Saints news tonight, and he's not here tonight because the bus for the tennis team broke down and Andrew's changing a tire or something.
Doesn't he send his kid to like the finest school money can buy?
That's right.
In Virginia, and they have a bus breakdown.
Yeah. So
Jesus,
disgraceful. The Saints injuries.
Time to have another bake sale.
Yeah, the Saints injuries are stacking so high they could touch the clouds. Why did DA's defense look so pathetic versus Mahomes last night? Plus, we preview Saints Bucs, and most importantly, we got to get ready for either sexy Jake Haener time or Shake, Rattle, and Hum tour is going to launch. As always, if we reach $100 in donations, I will drink something horrible the patrons have sent me. Dave, tonight we got Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire. That's disgusting. And no name brand 99 proof strawberry vodka. Disgusting.
No, the brand is 99, I think.
Oh, it's.
I think that's the.
That's the brand. Okay. So donate it. We get to $100. Do it when me and Dave are together.
Yeah, we have set records. We break all kinds of donation records. We get to
rub it in Juge's face. Don't let us down.
So let's get it in early. Donate early. Donate often. Let's do this before Andrew gets here.
So, Dave, before we even get to the game last night, which we talked about on the post-game show, but we'll get to it. We got to start with the theme of the 2024 Saints, and that's about sadness and injuries. Derek Carr going to be out, at least going to miss at least a couple games, which really is, they play Tampa Sunday and then they host Sean Payton on Thursday. He's got an oblique injury. We're going to talk to Dr. Thomas about the oblique injury. We'll talk to him later in the week. But, I mean, what's it mean?
Is he going to be out? Because I feel like we went through this a few times last season, and then on Friday they're like, "Oh yeah, you know what? He's going to go."
Yeah, but last year
he hates in this game. He likes to tough out.
He does, but last year,
money's. I'd say don't count him out yet.
Last year they never announced.
Oh, he's got Jesus on his side, for crying out loud. I mean, you can't compete with Jesus.
Well, I'm not going to say it. But Derek, like last year for Derek Carr, they never announced it like on a Tuesday. They're like, he's not playing. They were always like, he might play. He's splitting reps. I'm
only half joking.
Yeah. The thing is, Dave, I know you've been a Saints fan since when? Like 2004-ish?
2002, 2003.
Like you hopped on the bag in like the middle of Hazlitt. So you didn't even get the playoff high. You didn't even get the playoff high of 2000. No. You hopped on the middle. You hopped on in the middle. You picked like not the best time to hop on the Saints bandwagon. So I give you credit.
That's why I hopped on. I love a lovable loser. I'm a sucker for a lovable loser. If I was a nurse, I would probably date Kevin.
Jesus, not even here catching strays. But here's the thing.
A little late on that one, buddy. Come on. A little quicker next time.
Here's the thing that I want to say, and maybe people in the chat will do it. Like I've seen the Saints. I've seen the Saints collapse. You probably the 2002 Saints with Jim Haslett 9-4 completely collapsed.
Yeah.
I've seen the Saints have collapses before. They're kind of like slow motion car crashes, right? This collapse has been so swift and so brutal and so quick from the
interception! Here's $20 to help pay for the next center we sign from off the streets.
Over 20 back donation. By the way, we are on a 60-week donation streak. Let's keep it that way, guys.
But hey, Budrich, if you're in the chat, I see a bunch of people in the chat, by the way. Jerry, EJ, Toxic P, Daniel, Who Dat Golfer, anybody in the chat. What's the most players the Saints have ever started at one position in a season? Because right now we're at 4 for center. So, like, I mean,
and that's like the worst position too, that you want to have ridiculous turnover like that. I mean, you're talking about the guy that touches the ball every single down on offense, snaps it to Carr, has to, no mistakes, can't be screwing up the snaps. That's not the position you want to be on your fourth center in 5 weeks.
You really don't. And here's the thing with the Saints issues. One of the issues on Monday night was when Chris Jones for Kansas City, when he was 1-on-1, according to Next Gen Stats, he utterly dominated the Saints. When they were able to block him with 2, they did a decent job. But Kansas City kind of figured it out. It's like, hey, if we rush 5 or we rush 6, you can't block Chris Jones with 2. That's what we'll do. And he just started wrecking things during the game.
Including Derek Carr's oblique.
Derek Carr said he injured the oblique before he hit the ground. He's like, it wasn't a hit. I felt it pop or whatever when I threw the ball. And by the way, nice job, Mason Tipton, not catching Derek Carr's last pass maybe for a couple of weeks. It was a dime, and it goes through his hands on a 4th down.
Yeah, his arms weren't even close to being closed to catch that. Yeah. His arms were like wide open.
It's like, what are you doing, buddy? But this because they have this injury apocalypse. It I think it hurts more because I believe in my soul, and I will die on this hill probably forever. The 2024 Saints were a good team. They were 2. And I'm not saying they were a Super Bowl team. I'm not saying they were that. But they were like, if they would have just had normal injuries for this year, they would have been a 10, 11-ish win team. And it would have been fun. And it would have been fun all year. Like the offense is cooking. And now it's just absolutely destroyed. And I can't remember in my entire life a Saints team going from the highest high to, oh my God, we might pick top 4. Like it's been whiplash, Dave. Whiplash. And I can't say I've ever experienced it with the Saints.
Yeah, I'm torn on whether I want to blame it on all the injuries or not. And even if we do blame it on the injuries, I don't. Kevin's not with us. He's in the chat, but he's not on the podcast with us. So I may have to carry this torch. I may have to carry this torch for him. But there are things that the Saints could have potentially done to avoid a situation like this. Like, I don't know, maybe acquire more draft picks and kind of just draft a bunch of guys, bulk up, take more shots, bites at the apple. I don't know. I just... the Taysom injury hurts. I mean, you still have. I don't know. I think the thing is I don't think, even if the Derek Carr injury, like that, to me, that doesn't matter. We're gonna. It's the offensive line and Taysom Hill. Those are the injuries that are important. Everything else we could survive.
Betting on the 35-year-old guy to make it through the year when you're doubling and tripling down on him being extra violent when he runs and catches the ball, that wasn't the wisest thing. But I will say the things that I think, looking back, the Saints 100% did wrong. They needed to replace James Hurst in a sense of James Hurst could play anywhere on the line except
Wait, he retired?
Center. He put that on a t-shirt, Dave. He retired? ? But I'm serious. Like they needed a guy that James Hurst could give you average offensive line play, any position but center. And they never replaced him. So You know who would be really nice to have right now? James Hurst. Because Cesar Ruiz is out hurt. Like, it would help a lot. They didn't do that. They knew Juwan Johnson was bad last year. They didn't replace him, really. They counted on him. He's got a foot problem, yes, but he was terrible last year, except for like the Tampa game. So they struggle at tight end. Their receivers stink besides the top two. So like they didn't, the injuries, you're right. It has hit them incredibly hard and it's apocalypse, but and Dave, it isn't even really about like spending a ton of money. They just didn't identify good depth, because depth, like the James Hursts and those type guys, they don't really cost a lot of money. It's just scouting and finding the dudes, right?
Yeah. You know, you're making my point for me a little bit here. And again, I don't
agree with you.
I think obviously they've had a lot of injuries on the offensive line. You know, 4 centers. I didn't even realize we were at 4. I would have guessed 3. By the way, donate, people. But you know, so you can't just totally ignore that. But all the things that you said, and I just basically, I think we are in the same position right now that we were last season. We've got an injured quarterback. We've got a busted O-line. We've got an offense. We have a defense that can play okay, but we have an offense that can't score enough points to give the defense help. I mean, we have gone nowhere. You could even possibly make the argument that we've gone backwards a little bit.
Last year they were 3-2. Last year at this time they just embarrassed Bill Belichick.
And it's a lot of the same people. And so at what point do you have to question the decisions that were made and say, what the hell are we doing here? Like, we didn't do anything to improve.
Well, I got to say, last night, the offense looked very 2023 Pete Carmichael, where it was just run on first down for nothing, shot plays and vibes. And you hit the play to Rashid, and that was about it. And it was very, I mean, I know the Saints thought they could take advantage of the Kansas City secondary. And there were plays to be made. Derek Carr just kind of stunk and missed a bunch of them. He hit Shaheed, but that was it. The game plan, the whole coaching thing last night, I didn't understand the plan. I didn't understand not using play action on early downs like they had been the first 2 weeks. I didn't understand playing zone against Kansas City when Travis Kelce, a.k.a. Mr. Taylor Swift, is literally the only healthy, decent receiver they have. Dudes are just running wide open they're just like, it was very 2014, 2015 Rob Ryan tight end type defense where the dude's just frolicking through the fields wide open. Juju Smith-Schuster, I didn't even realize he was still in the league. Dude put up 130 on the Saints.
Jesus.
It was disgusting.
Verbal meme, a sad Wolverine lying in bed caressing a picture of Pete Carmichael. You know.
Oh, by the way, Sean Payton signed A.T. Perry today to the Broncos practice squad. Of course he did.
Jesus.
So
I don't know. Like, again, we talked about this last night. Like, it seemed like the game plan on offense last night was run Kamara up the middle, run Kamara maybe out the outside. That doesn't work. Throw deep, take a deep shot with Shaheed. Wash, rinse, repeat. You know, I made a complaint that I feel like we haven't seen much of Olave, and you know, Juge reminded me that might be to some fault of Olave's, but also maybe some fault of the play calling or whatever. I don't understand. He's our best receiver. He's not really getting as involved, I think, as he could be or should be.
Yeah, I mean, they got to do a better. Like, teams are trying to take him away, but you got to do do a better job. And I feel like Kubiak is a good offensive coordinator, but I also feel like he's not the best in the game where like it's not working, we got to switch it up. Like he's not the best at, like, he's good at designing a plan and it can kind of work, but like shifting it on the fly, he's not the strongest at it. Listen, Dave, people in the chat are saying Nick Underhill's dropping breadcrumbs about, hey, Spencer Rattler makes sense to start. He's got the bullet points about why. So that
why?
kinda,
What are the bullet points?
I mean, the bullet points. One thing he said is, I saw on Twitter today, somebody said, don't worry about Spencer Rattler playing behind a bad offensive line. At South Carolina, he was the South Carolina Gamecocks offensive line was basically Stalingrad. He was getting sacked and killed, so he's used to the pressure. And Nick Underhill's point was he bounced back well from sacks at South Carolina. Like, he would get sacked and like shake it off and then go and complete like a 20-yard pass.
Well, I mean, not only that, but like, I got to admit, given the situation that either one of these guys is about to find themselves in behind this offensive line, I think the best quarterback might be the guy like Rattler, who when
can move, yeah.
Yeah, when the
Haener can
whole
move
line breaks down,
yeah,
he can. But I mean, look, what we saw from Rattler, as far as athleticism, I think Rattler's way better than Haener. And he's quicker, and he's definitely got the legs. So yeah, I don't know. Rattler may make sense. I mean, behind this offensive line, if you're gonna have, there's no way you're gonna have a stand in the pocket kind of quarterback that's gonna have any kind of success behind this offensive line. They're never going to have enough time. They're never going to have a clean pocket. Maybe Spencer Rattler is the perfect kind of guy. He's just going to scramble all the time. His first instinct is to run away and find somebody downfield. That might be, who the hell knows? That might be the best
one read and go. I will say this, not to get ahead to the game preview, but the Saints, it is absolutely critical that their like first 15 to 20 scripted plays, Kubiak, the good stuff, break it out. Like for me, like with the bourbon for the playoff games for the Astros, like break out your best 20 plays, like the best, the good stuff. The 1972, what is that soundbite? The Gino de Papa, whatever from
Sally, I need help.
Break out your best stuff. First 20 plays, the Saints need to get like at least 10 points against Tampa. I'm just saying. But Dave, it's to my next point. The offense without Derek Carr is going to be blank. Fill it in.
The offense without Derek Carr?
Yeah. What's it going to be?
Is going to be... Again, I kind of just hyped myself up on Rattler, so it kind of depends on who's going to be the quarterback. Because I'll be honest with you, like if Jake Haener's the quarterback, I think we're going to just see more of the same. So my answer would be the Saints offense will be the same. If Spencer Rattler's the quarterback, and I'm not saying like that's the thing. That's what I want. It might be like chaos. A Joker or whatever. It might be chaos, but chaos. What we need now is chaos because. It can't get any worse, and chaos could potentially.
Oh, it could get worse, Dave. See, this is where you coming in as a Saints fan in like 2002, 2003. It can be worse with Ditka.
Come on,
Werfel, the Billy Joes. You saw it in 2021 with Simeon and Ian Book. It can get worse. It can get worse. Nick in the chat says better or worse than Ian Book. Look, Nick, Ian Book is basically Kirkland's Bryce Young.
All right,
like
let's not insult Kirkland.
Kirkland's got some good stuff. So maybe it's like President's Choice for the people that remember President's Choice.
Yeah,
he's President's Choice Bryce Young.
Members Mark. It's Members Mark.
Yeah, Ian Book was not physically good enough to be an NFL quarterback. Same thing as Bryce Young. Spencer Rattler and even Jake Haener, like they're physically gifted enough. They can move, they can throw, they're tall enough, they're not dwarves. So it's like Spencer Rattler, I could see him being completely chaos and like on a bad way, being like 10 of 26 for like 130 yards, a touchdown and 3 picks, but also like run for 75 yards. Like it'll be chaos. It might be good. It might be bad. But Jake Haener, I'm going to say this for him. If it's Jake Haener and he starts, Dave, if he can get a win, because I don't think Jake Haener, I don't think his ceiling is as high as Rattler. Like Jake Haener, his best case scenario is like he wins one of the starts the Saints give him, and then he's a backup quarterback for like 15 years in the NFL because teams will be like, remember that time he started against the Bucs, and he started against the Bucs and threw for 220 and 2 touchdowns. He can be our backup, and he'll just play for like 10 years, and that'll be like his only start that he ever has.
If Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler comes in and it's like not the longest yard. What's the movie, the football movie with the
Replacements?
Willie Beeman.
Oh yeah, Any Given Sunday.
If one of these guys, that's right. If one of these guys comes in, yeah. If one of these guys comes in and he's like Willie Beeman, and all of a sudden they start winning games.
Dude, we're never going back to Carr. We are dude.
That's fine.
Rattler,
that's not what
Rattler goes in. He beats Tampa. We're never going. We're like, we won't accept. We will not accept Carr coming back. The fan base. It's a wrap. It is a.
Well, but I'm not
wrap.
even. Well, that's true. But I'm not even talking about like one game. Let's say he plays a few games, 3-4 games, wins 3-4 in a row.
Done. It's done. It's a wrap.
No, I know that. I get that. I totally get that. That's not my question. My question is how do we feel about Dennis Allen? Shouldn't Dennis Allen still be fired? Because if he knew anything, he would have started Rattler to begin with over Derek Carr. And like, so to me that makes a further case. Like, you know what? Maybe we need somebody else.
No, because Kansas City sat Mahomes for a year. I mean, I don't think sitting Rattler. And here's the thing, like Kansas City, like they kind of had this inkling that Mahomes was good, but that first year, like midway through the year, people were like, "Oh my God, he's killing us in practice. He is amazing." And they just kept with Alex Smith. Like, I don't think sitting your quarterback that you drafted in the 5th round for the plan to like sit him for a year and maybe he's amazing. And like, we never go back and he's like the quarterback for the Saints for 10 years. But like, I don't think that's I don't think it's an indictment on DA that like, you didn't start Rattler at the beginning of the year.
I'm just trying to come up with excuses here. Yeah. Well, I mean, here's spin the narrative here.
Well, I would say, look, it's very unlikely that Spencer Rattler or Haener is very good and saves the Saints season. Like that's a 1 in a million shot. Like Aaron Brooks doing it in 2000 was like Haley's Comet. But
maybe 1 in like 1,000.
My thing is, does the injury apocalypse plus Derek Carr getting hurt, has this maybe bought DA another year? Because Mickey Loomis at the end of the year, no matter what the Saints say, he'll say, listen, we were 2-0, we crushed Dallas, we played Philly, and as soon as McCoy started, that was the kickoff of the injury apocalypse. Derek Carr got hurt. DA deserves another year, even though they went 5-12 or whatever. He deserves another year. We're going to give him another year because it was just horrible luck. He deserves it. Where like this is a built-in excuse now. Whereas if they just would have kept losing with Derek Carr, he would have been less likely to keep his job. And I don't know. I don't necessarily agree. I don't necessarily agree with that. By the way, Mickey Loomis. Like if Dennis Allen doesn't have a winning season, he should be gone. Like he should be out of here. But I feel like the Saints may be looking a reason to keep him. And I think the injuries and Derek Carr getting hurt, I think that gives them an excuse that they're looking for.
I hope not. I don't. That's not the timeline that I want to be living on.
Well, no.
I mean, it's yes. Is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible. I mean, we talked before about how this front office is. I don't think they're quick to get rid of people or fire people. They're pretty loyal to the people that have been here for a while. DA's been here a while. I think that it's tough to get fired.
I mean, for DA to get a 4th year, if he goes like 7-10, 9-8, 7-10, for him to get a 4th year would be like almost unprecedented, kind of. Which like I don't know, like I mean, I'll keep the season tickets because I love the season tickets, but I gotta say, like, man, a 4th year DA with no playoffs, season ticket people will be like, they might be heading for the exits.
I think they already have. I mean, I think this offseason, I think they're already having some issues. Season tickets.
Well, I know. I don't have sources like Juge does on the football side, but I do have a couple of sources on the the business side. And one of the people that I talked to regularly said that this was by far the most difficult renewal year that he's ever seen. And he's been with them since the mid 90s.
Oh, Jesus.
So, I mean, he said it was difficult. Now he said it's a little bit different because, in the late 90s and early 2000s, they didn't have the whole stadium for season tickets. So it was a different kind of challenge, but he said it was as challenging this year to get people to do it and renew.
Well, we know what sells season tickets. That's
Rattler
a new coach
mania.
and a new quarterback.
I mean, listen,
Excitement.
That's a question for you, your question. And I joked about it, but let's say Rattler starts 3 games. If he wins 1 and looks bad in 2, I think the fan base will be not happy if they go back to Carr, because the fan base in general doesn't like Carr. They won't be happy, but they'll be like, okay, we get it. Dave, if he wins 2 out of 3, say he beats Tampa, beats Denver, they play one more. I don't know. I can't think of who they play after Denver, but they loses that one. Fan base isn't going to be like, no, don't go back to Carr. I think if he starts 3 and wins 2, the fan base will be like, we don't want Carr. You got to stick with Rattler.
Does it have to be Rattler though? What if it's Jake Haener? Does it matter who it is?
I don't think so.
You're just saying it's Rattler because he has the better chance of doing that.
I think.
Otherwise, are you saying that Spencer Rattler has some sort of?
I think Spencer Rattler has an
it factor that Haener doesn't.
Spencer Rattler has captivated the fan base. They have put their hopes and dreams into Spencer Rattler in a way that they have not done with sexy Jake Haener. Although my brother's husband, to quote him, he said, Jake Haener is a snack. So, I mean, I'm kind of pro Jake Haener being amazing.
If you come, you best come hard.
Exactly.
Well done.
So, I mean, there we go. I want to talk to you about something else that's awesome. Hard Hide Ponchatoula. What? Yeah. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is amazing. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is a whiskey flavored and blended with aged wheat whiskey, American light whiskey, Cocktail & Sons strawberry and lemon syrup, fresh strawberries from Jonesdale Farm in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. It's 86 proof. The whiskey is blended and bottled at the Sugarfield Distillery in Gonzales, Louisiana. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is supporting Saints Happy Hour all football season long in the next year through the 2025 draft. So support the people who support the show. Grab a bottle of Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey today. And by the way, we got something. I can't divulge everything, but we got something that we are working really, really hard to cook up.
Oh, Ralph's pants just got
will
tighter.
be, if we can pull it out, it'll be amazing.
I have no idea what he's talking about. So.
It's so secret that I gotta keep it under wraps before I even leak it to people on the show.
More secret than Secret Life of Thomas.
More, and that's right. And I gotta. Thomas sent me another one. I'm being lazy and crippled, and I gotta get it uploaded for the people. Dave, the Saints.
Can I give you a quick donation update before that?
Yes, give me a donation update. Come on.
So Who That Golfer is still in the lead with $20, and thanks to Run Amok for donating $12.83. So he's in the second place. We are at 1/3 of donation goal.
Come on, guys. Make it happen. We can't. The Saints are on a losing streak. We got to continue our winning streak.
Yes, sir.
So, Dave, the Saints have been outgained 2-1 in yards 2 of the past 3 weeks. I know yards are not a fancy standard. All the analytics, people don't care about any yards. Can't care about yards anymore necessarily. But to me, when you get outgained, you get you're giving up double the yards that you're gaining. That's bad. Is the defense, Dave, fraudulent? And are we at the point where we start asking Dennis Allen, what is it you say you do here? Are we getting to that point with DA? Because I feel like
do you have the stats from last night's game pulled up? Do you know how many yards of offense did we have?
We had 222. Kansas City had 460.
All right. Well, that's a lot of yardage to give up. Look, I look like to quote Kevin,
40 minutes. We had the ball 20.
The problem is I'm going to quote Kevin here. The problem is it's a little bit of column A, it's a little bit of column B. I think it's mostly column A and a little bit of B. And column A is the offense is anemic, has been anemic the last 2 games, and I think that's more of the issue.
I don't know they were anemic against Atlanta. 2 of the last 3. They weren't.
And this is a 2-sided ball game, people. And just like the game against the Eagles, you have to remember, if the offense doesn't gain yardage and gain first downs and stay out on the field, that means the defense has to be out there instead.
That's right.
And when your defense is playing 25, 30 more snaps than your offense, they're going to get tired. They're going to get tired late in the game. They're going to get tired in coverage. They're going to blow assignments. They're going to blow coverages. It's going to be a problem. And that's what you've seen in at least 2 of these 3 losses. And that's why I have a hard time. I take exception to the people. Yeah, I take exception to the people. There was somebody in the chat who was blaming the defense. And look, I get it. I see how that looks. But you got to realize the situation. And I really do think that, like we said earlier, I think our defense is a pretty darn good defense, even against. I mean, they don't give up a lot of touchdowns.
No, they don't.
They give up a lot of yards, like you say, and that might lead to field goals. But that's a pretty good defense. Yeah, and if you have an offense that can just, if you can score, 1 touchdown to 2 field goals, you win the game. So you only have it's just.
Well, the thing I worry
about
about
a hard time blaming the defense.
The thing I worry about with the defense is they've been really, really great in the red zone, but history tells us that's not a sustainable way to live on defense. Like, you can't give up a ton of yards and a ton of first down and a ton of time of possession and just keep being great in the red zone. Eventually, you won't. But the thing is that was surprising to me about this game, Dave. I felt in the game like Kansas City just ran the ball all over the Saints. Like they just ran it at will. It felt like that. But do you know how much yards per carry the Chiefs averaged in the game?
3.4.
3.6. It felt way, way worse than that. 39 carries for 3.6. It felt like they just gashed the Saints over and over and over again. But the Saints are just, like you say, kind of holding steady.
The Saints also, just as far as, we've been talking about all these injuries we've been talking about, what side of the ball have they been on? Offense.
They were down 2 linebackers last night. That wasn't good.
But I mean, your defensive line, they're still pretty healthy. You still got Granderson, Chase Young, Cam Jordan. You've had injuries in the secondary, but you're deep in the secondary. So what happens is when you're deep out of position, what happens is when the guys get injured, you can have other guys that are not that bad. They can come in and play. Okay.
Safety's kind of
offensive line. Point, okay, offensive line. This is I'm looking at you when I'm saying this. O-line. So the defense hasn't really had to deal with as many injuries, and they've I just look this offense. It's I'm just getting frustrated because we didn't go out and get another top tier receiver to complement somebody like Olave. We lost Mike Thomas. We didn't do anything about tight end. We don't really have any. We don't really have anything at tight end. All we have is Kamara that we use. We have Jamal Williams. We don't even use him. I don't even know why he's on the team.
Do you want to use him though? I feel like
yes, he's been fine. Show me what has been wrong with what has Jamal Williams done that he's done this season when he's been asked to carry the rock. I think he's done okay. I see no. I don't think that's fair, Ralph.
Juge is joining us. The bus got repaired, or you maybe
Juge.
This is hitchhiked home. Did you hitchhike home?
This is your son's tennis teams. This is your school's bus.
No, it's my son's school. Yeah,
Right.
Girls'
And
season is in the spring or in the fall, and boys is in the spring. Yeah.
And don't you send him to like the finest freaking school that money can buy in the
The sun never sets on the George
in the
Empire.
Mid-Atlantic Eastern Seaboard? Can they not afford buses that work at this fine school that you're coaching at?
Apparently not. Apparently not.
So, Andrew, you joined us. Look, we talked about it. Nick Underhill dropping breadcrumbs that it's going to be Rattler.
No, real quick. Who do you want to start next week?
So,
Rattler or Haener? One word answer: Rattler or Haener?
I mean, I want to see Rattler.
I'm still not sure.
There we go. There it is. Rattler.
Rattler's
Put him on the board. Put him on the board.
Yeah, Rattler
Got it on the board. Haener or Rattler? You must choose.
Be the better player. I think he probably, like, I definitely think in the long term, like, he'll be the better player. My only hesitation is that, like, I think whoever the Saints start might legitimately die. And
Well, so here's
as was the case with Derek Carr this past week. So, like, if I have to sacrifice one of them at the altar, and Rattler's going to play in this game either way, like, start Haener and let him die.
Well, no, that was my that's what we were talking about earlier. That's my working theory. To your point, I think if you have a quarterback who's not as mobile, who's going to stand there in the pocket, he's screwed. But if you have a guy like Rattler, he's going to take off and run.
They're both kind of mobile, right?
Yeah, but I think Rattler's way more mobile and quicker. So I think I think they both have a better chance of avoiding injury just by being able to run away from it.
Maybe we're thinking about this all wrong. Maybe the Saints, instead of deciding who to start, they need to do the Bum Phillips 1983 model. Rotate. You get a series, rotate them in and out. Kenny Stabler, Dave Wilson, they rotated them. Not every play, every series. I'm just saying. Because that way, they're less likely to get injured because they both take the equal beating, Andrew.
That's not true at all. I don't think that's true.
Throw DA in there.
You got two starting quarterbacks, you got none.
Throw Andrew, DA in there to take a beating.
What is the best case scenario at quarterback? And I'm not talking about, obviously the best case scenario is they win the game, but what's a realistic best case scenario for the Saints on offense against a Tampa defense that's kind of stinky?
Yeah, right. Realistically, I mean, I think you want to run the football well. And then if you start Rattler, who clearly has the better arm between the two guys, I think you set him up for play action and give him looks down the field. Like, look, you still have Olave and you still have Shaheed. And I would argue that if you look at what Shaheed's done so far this year, he's one of the best deep threats in the league, maybe the best. You know, he's on Tyreek Hill's level just in terms of his ability to stretch a defense. So we know Rattler has a cannon. I think best case scenario is that they connect on a couple bombs. And even if he's not that great at the intermediate stuff, you know, the running game does just enough and they move the chains. Maybe he makes a couple plays with his feet. And it's the two deep connections to Shaheed or Olave, you know, where he's got two, 50-plus touchdown passes. That, to me, that's probably the best case scenario is that he hits a couple bombs.
I asked Dave this, but I want your question. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Rattler or Haener start 3 games, right? Yeah. So you're gonna get 3 starts out of them. How many wins do they? So you get Buccaneers, Broncos at the Chargers. How many wins and how good do they have to play for the fan base to be 110% done with Derek Carr?
I almost don't think he needs to play that well. If they go 3-0 with, let's say, Rattler, I think you have to be at least tempted to stick with him. Because, I mean, the reason being is, like, I don't know that Carr is your long-term answer anyway. And if you've got a rookie quarterback on a minimum deal that wins you 3 games in a row, like, all right, maybe it's time to ride that wave. So, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, realistically, if you could win 2 of those 3, it would be amazing. If you can only win 1, obviously give me Tampa. I'll happily lose both AFC games. So yeah, if you can only win 1, Tampa is the big one.
That Thursday night game, Bo Nix versus Rattler, is going to be football terrorism on America. Just glad Al Michaels is.
I mean, by all accounts, he's been doing well in practice.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot to ask, man. I mean, it's just I just worry about the reality of, look, the reason why Carr sucked so bad these last couple games, and the reason why he's injured, is their entire interior line is done. I mean, they're down to their 4th center.
People in the chat may know this, but when was the last time a team either they had an injury at quarterback during the year and they started either a rookie or a first-time starter, and that guy did well, and that team's offensive line was a disaster? Like, I can think of rookie quarterbacks that did well. Dak Prescott, but the Dallas had the best offensive line in football. Even the 2000 Saints with Aaron Brooks, he was good. He wasn't a rookie. But he was a first-time starter.
Those offensive line that, like, when Kaepernick was really young, when Russell Wilson had a lot of success in Seattle, like when Roethlisberger was young, and I mean, all those guys were protected by tremendous offensive line.
Yeah. People in the chat are saying that, to me and Dave's other point, like season tickets, people are saying if they have a losing season and they keep the A, they're done with season tickets. So that's interesting. Thanks for the donation, Thomas. Give us a quick donation update. Where are we?
Oh, damn, your Wi-Fi is acting out today.
Suspect.
We are at almost $38 thanks to Run Amok for another $5 donation. You're almost in the MVP lead, Run Amok.
Thank you, guys. I mean, the donation streak is amazing, and we love you for it.
Have you had a shot yet today?
Well, it's about to die. No, we haven't.
I haven't not.
I thought me not being here, Dave, you had argued when I don't show up, we break records.
I put a call out.
Because I'm a small 2,000 square foot shop.
Yeah.
What is it gonna mean if all of a sudden I'm here and we start getting donations? It's really gonna.
I got to admit, donations have been light the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's depressing.
I'm not sure what's going on.
If here's the thing, Groupie missed an extra point. If me and Dave can't deliver, we couldn't deliver the Money River without Juge, and they go to the Irish kicker, that'll be too much Juge happiness for me. So get the donations back on track for us, and we don't want Thomas to have to panhandle in Poland.
I got to say, I was excited when I saw Dallin Holker on the first snap of the game. The Saints went 3 tight ends. He was in there. I saw he played maybe 10 snaps in this game on offense. They didn't throw him a pass, but you had to think that Dave was sweating that a little bit. He's starting to get some playing time. All it takes is 1 touchdown pass.
I mean, I don't think that's...
One touchdown catch is worth like 50 punts, Dave.
I mean,
no, it is not.
Yes, it is.
Hayball looks shaky AF. But to be fair to Hayball, he might have been hungover because Vanderbilt beat Alabama, so he might have been out, he might have been out he might have been out drinking. You don't know.
He was in Nashville carrying one of the goalposts.
Yeah, right.
One of the uprights.
Do we think that with the weather's hurricane situation and Tampa having to come here and practice at Tulane this week, does that help us at all? Maybe we're catching them on the right week.
Have we discussed starting Taysom Hill yet? Hot take?
No, we haven't. And I don't see how that's going to work. Who's going to block? He can't block and pass at the same time, Andrew.
Did you guys see that the Broncos signed A.T. Perry?
Oh, we did.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
It's so Sean Payton. Just it's disgusting.
Do we need linebackers? Because Devin White has been released and is available.
We need everyone, man.
We need offensive linemen.
Devin White could probably play guard better than the guys we have now.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I said it to Dave earlier. It's just like, this team was good. They were a really good, fun team. Tampa Bay, if the Saints beat them, they might be done with Todd Bowles. They were like, their Thursday night loss to Atlanta was horrific. We'll get to that in the game pick segment. But right now, the hotline, Dave, this is your baby. I gotta say, you might have to give the people a stern talking to. Only 8 calls. The uncensored version is 5 minutes long. People were so sad they forgot to call, I guess. But do not fear. Even though we got less calls than usual, the quality is definitely above average. Thomas, play the hotline.
It's time for this week's hottest takes from the Saints Happy Hour Hotline.
Jody here. It's the first drive. Alvin Kamara just did some stuff. Wasn't sure about it at first, but turned out to be pretty cool. Sit here, got my Sackalicious gummies, watching the game. It's gonna be a good time. Beat the hell out of the Chiefs.
Way to kill a f***ing great drive, Derek Carr, you piece of shit. This is goddamn Troutman hater. I might change my f***ing name to Carr hater if he keeps this lame duck bullshit ass throw up. What a motherfucker. Who that?
Hey, y'all, it's Dustin J. Did he just caught that bomb? I'm going to call while the getting's good. I got the Saints radio on, old school style. I got f***ing Troy Aikman and Joe Buck's dumb f***ing asses muted because it's the Taylor, Kelsey, Patrick Mahomes circle jerk suckfest hour on my f***ing TV, and it's disgusting. It's nasty. And these motherfuckers can shut the f*** up. Who that? Maybe we'll win. Maybe we won't. I don't know.
Hello. If you have any issues or complaints about tonight's game between the Chiefs and the Saints, press 1. Representative. Hello. If you have any issues or complaints about tonight's game between the Chiefs and the Saints, press 1. Representative. Hello. If you have any issues or complaints about tonight's game between the Chiefs and the Saints, press 1.
Rattle and hum. Get Carl the fuck out of here.
Jesus fucking Christ. Hey guys, Darren here from Tampa, diehard Saints fan. Born in New Orleans, raised in Tampa. Hoping the Saints were winning that game, and that sucked that we lost. But wanted to tell you guys, with this going on, everything, really appreciate you guys putting out that the show going on, talking about it, and appreciate you guys talk about the Saints. And thanks, guys. It's giving a little hope here in Tampa here, because it doesn't look good what's going to happen. Like I said, love the show, love the Saints. Appreciate that after show. It's great to hear that, even though the Saints lost. With this hurricane coming on here in Tampa, it's so scary, man. But love hearing the show, love hearing you guys, and thank you so much for giving me a little hope here, man. It sucks. We lost, but sometimes in life, things might be a little bit more important. Pray for us here in Tampa. Storm looks pretty bad, but hey, no matter what, go Saints.
I got to say.
All right, well, that was depressing.
No, I mean, I want to thanks Darren. When seriously, that hurricane is the scariest thing I've ever seen. And we lived through Katrina, Dave. That hurricane's scarier than Katrina. They had a news guy today. He's like, it can't get any bigger. The Earth's rotation and barometric pressure like this, it can only drop so low. And I was like, I don't know. I don't understand. Like Tampa, the whole state of Florida, except for Miami, is red evacuate. And they're telling people.
It sounds like it's made a turn where I mean, Tampa is not going to get hit as bad, right? Like it looks like it's going to hit south of Tampa.
Yeah, but the problem is, Andrew, it's going to like get bigger, not stronger in like wind, but like bigger in size.
Well, it's already a category 5, right?
Yes, but like
strength.
That's strength though. It's going to be like wider, like the amount of destruction, because it's so wide from the circle of it. it will cause more damage in Florida. It's going to be it's one of those ones. It's like Camille, Katrina. There's only like 4 or 5 storms that have ever been Category 5 that have hit the United States, and it's one of them.
Storm surge, right?
And it's bad. I mean, I know the NFL always cares about just play the games, but man, I really wish like the bye weeks or something. I mean, it would have worked out good for the Saints because of Carr's injury, but like if the Saints bye week with Tampa like would have matched up, like the Saints I think are bye week 11, Tampa's 12. If their bye weeks could have matched up, they could have like said, hey, y'all get the bye week this week, y'all are playing in week 11 or whatever. I think that would have been better because here's the thing, like if it's devastating to Tampa, like they still got to go back. I don't know. The NFL, it's a crappy job by them, and everybody in Tampa, we're praying for you. Hopefully just hunker down and get through it, you know? But thanks everybody. And by the way, Thomas trusted me again with the hotline that he sent it to me, trusting me that I would post it after the show, the uncensored one. And I will. Guess what, Dave? The Troutman car hater and the voicemail guy, he called again, but that's in the uncensored spicy version of the hotline. So consider becoming a patron at any level. You get the uncensored hotline, and more importantly, you support the show you love. Thomas, it's time
does he ever get to talk to a representative? I have to know.
He does not.
See?
The Saints Happy Hour viewer questions are brought to you by Hard Hide, Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Thomas, play Take It to the Top.
Roger that.
Finger guns. Thomas, what's first up in the mailbag?
All right, first question. First question belongs to Nikolai, and he asks. Oh, I messed up one thing. Sorry, guys.
Deduct the meats and cheeses.
I thought there was something new we were supposed to be doing with the hotline. What were y'all talking about before the show? What is that?
We did.
The intro?
No, it was just Thomas reminding me to review the hotline.
Don't worry about it, Dave. Come on, man. Don't worry.
Don't give him a peek behind the curtain. They had to pay for that, Dave.
Nikolai asks, when
Can
is
you turn
Ralph...
the music down?
I can't. Jesus Christ.
It's
Can I read
louder
this
than it
fucking
normally
question
is.
or not?
No, I can't hear you.
Thomas had to wake up early tonight. He had to wake up even earlier than normal. He's cranky. It's my fault.
Dave, you need to turn the bot down.
No, I know. I have you turned down already. I have your channel turned down already. That's how fucking loud the music is. It's still loud.
Saints lose 3 games.
Like a small baby.
There we go.
When the game prediction segment comes, you're gonna remember that moment, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
When I deduct the fucking points. All right, Nikolai asks, when is Ralph gonna do the combo of menthol mint and barbecue whiskey that he promised me at the live show?
Yeah, when are you? How about when people donate?
You know what? You know what, Nikolai? If the Saints can win one of these 2 games, I will do that the following show if we hit $100. I'll do the disgusting combo of menthol, mint, and barbecue whiskey for you. The Saints, they got to win one of the 2. But Andrew, I told the people if the Saints, if they win with Rattler on Sunday and they trade for Devontae Adams on Monday, I will do a shot of Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey every 15 minutes during the live show on Tuesday, and I will be shirtless. That is my commitment to the people. If both of those things happen, I guess if Haener,
I won't be rooting for then.
If Haener starts, man, you would love it. Come on, man. Can you imagine? Dude? We will burn. Saints Twitter will burn so bright. It will warm us throughout the winter. If they win with Rattler and they trade for Devontae Adams, oh my God, it'd be be the greatest day since they almost got Clowney. What's next?
By the way,
Thomas?
I love that. It's been a couple of years now, and most major media outlets refer to it as X. But I like how we have never once referred to it as X, and we still continue to refer to it as Twitter. Well, just because I agree, but.
I wonder when it's hemorrhaging money. I wonder when the lights are going to go out.
I don't know. That would be a problem because I have a lot of followers for my business on Twitter, and if that all just disappeared, if that all just disappeared, that would be a big problem.
Without Twitter, I would have to start talking to my family again.
Cares if it's hemorrhaging money? He's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if they got rid of Twitter, I'd have to talk to my family and go outside. That would be horrible.
It's not going to go anywhere. It's bankrolled by the richest dude in the history of planet Earth.
YouTube is also hemorrhaging money. Don't worry, Rolf.
Yeah. All right, what's next, Thomas?
All right, next question from Jason Champagne, who I saw earlier in the chat. He asks, now that we know Jen Hale and Arthur Blank are dating... Do we think she's asked about his Penix Jr.?
Oh my God.
I love our listeners.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. I mean, here's the thing. Good on Arthur Blank, I guess. I mean, if you're a billionaire, you can do it, but I just if he could she get inducted to the Ring of Honor? If she married Arthur Blank, would he put her in the Ring of Honor like he put himself in the Ring of Honor?
Are you picking up Gail Benson vibes?
I mean, no, he's got kids. I'm sure if they have a prenup that would be ironclad. Ironclad.
Are you picking up who's the blonde's name?
Rita LeBlanc guessed the same thing.
Yeah, right. That's true.
She guessed.
Who was the blonde woman who had the show? That she married the Texas guy, the billionaire, the oil guy.
And Nicole Smith.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Speaking of the Falcons, Andrew, I have to say, the Falcons being the most luckiest, most fraudulent team that I've seen in years, being 3-2 and probably going to be the most. They're going to have a negative point differential and be 11-6. The fact that that's going to happen and the Saints are just having the season from hell, it makes Atlanta's winning even worse than it would normally be.
If you could swap entire rosters between the Falcons and the Saints. Salary cap situation, financials, all of that. Just straight up swap. You keep the coaching staff, and you make all decisions moving forward. But would you swap rosters right here, right now?
Don't make me say it.
Don't make me say it.
I don't know that I would.
Really?
I don't know.
I would.
I don't know. I mean, Dave, their defense is bad. Their defense is atrocious.
Yeah, but Dennis Allen could get that fixed up, and Kubiak probably
has 4-2 when they pants the Panthers this weekend.
Dude, I'm thinking of taking the Panthers on the money line.
You're crazy.
Dude,
money line? You're not even going to take the points?
No, I hit on Denver in the money line in Tampa. I hit the Panthers on the money line against the Raiders. The Panthers let me down against the Bears. I missed that, but I don't know. I feel like Atlanta
on the Panthers in the money line multiple times this year.
Yes.
Are you bankrupt?
You're a degenerate. My God.
Are you new here?
What are you chasing? Who hurt you? What is going on? What do you think what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, I got
of all the teams you could bet for, the Panthers on the money line is your bet.
Yeah,
that's
but
your go-to.
You don't even take the point
consistently.
But you get such good odds, though. I got plus 320 versus the Raiders.
There's a reason for that.
I know, but I'm just saying it's. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like Atlanta might be like the most Falcon thing in the world would be like, we're 3-2. We're going to take control of the South, and Andy Dalton sets them on fire.
Your gambling addiction is like it's the most Ralph thing ever. It's just like this podcast. You've been doing it for so many fucking years and you still suck at it. It's amazing.
Well, it's because clear. I mean, you see him talking about it now. He bets on rainbows and unicorns. He doesn't bet on likelihood.
Just it's fun.
A baby can understand it.
But I can't. All right, what's next, Thomas? That was uncalled for.
All right, next question.
Your bets are uncalled for.
Next question from Saints Rabbit, the usual suspects. Also, hi to Bulky in the chat. Saints Rabbit asks, should we expect to see Haener utilize Blue Steel? Or do you all think he's ready to unleash Magnum now that he's a starter?
I mean...
What's the one you used on the graphic for the show tonight? That's the one.
That's Blue Steel, I think.
Mm.
I mean, I'm really torn on what I want in this, because here's the thing. Like, I understand Rattler's got a higher ceiling, but Jake Haener beating the Bucs and like his post-game interview would just like, it could break the internet. He's so just pretty. Like I'm torn.
He's a snack.
He's a snack. I mean, he is a snack, man. It's just he is, man.
I gotta be honest. Like, part of the reason why I would prefer Rattler, forget the arm strength, forget the Saints Twitter obsession, forget all that stuff. The Jake Haener pictures kind of annoy me.
Oh,
what?
Forget
it.
Yeah. And he defeated cancer, man. Like, it's a great story.
That is true.
Kevin, who can't be on the podcast but can be in the chat, he said if Haener plays behind this offensive line, it'll be like the scene from Zoolander. Pals douse each other in gasoline. I'm just saying. You know, you could douse. I won't get down if we reach the goal tonight. I won't douse myself in gasoline, but I will drink something disgusting. Make it happen. Thomas, was that the last question?
No, you got one more.
Okay, hit us.
One more question from Aldi Marino. He asks, if you could combine your co-hosts with half of any animal strictly based on personality, like a mermaid or minotaur, what animal would you choose for each other? Include Thomas too.
I think we have to pick something with a good arm for Ralph if we have.
Well, I was going to say Ralph could be an octopus, and then he can only just have then he can have 4 working arms.
That's mean. It's a good, but I mean, it's better than one, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
Like a gorilla.
So Ralph's done.
I think we got to pick something like bougie for Andrew, like a labradoodle or some sort of like dog breed.
A peacock.
Yeah, like a
some
dog
kind
breed
of fancy dog breed
that's like possibly illegal.
Yeah,
maybe
like the dude who was making genetically altered sheep and selling them for like a tidy profit.
I'm thinking maybe Kevin, we could mix with like a cute panda bear. That way, you know, chicks that are into anime might like him.
That's right.
Jesus.
He could get himself a furry.
Kevin should be a gorilla.
If you mix this with an animal, do you go top half, bottom half? Because it's, I mean, it's critical. Yeah. It's critical.
You can go whatever you want. I think, right?
So War God says Ralph.
We've never seen Thomas's face. I can only assume that he's hiding it for a reason. So I think Thomas would keep his bottom half and he would animalize his face.
What's the meme going around where people inject the little animal into things?
What?
It's like a meme, and I don't know. It's like it looks like kind of like a walrus, but it's not quite a walrus, and it's like screaming.
Inject.
Yeah, well, like
into things.
I don't know. They like Photoshop. That's what I mean. Like
what internet are you on?
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter, and it's like people. We were old show. You know?
Kevin in the chat says,
baby
"For
hippo.
me, you
Yeah,
pick
it's the
an
baby-
animal."
It's a baby hippo. They put the baby hippo like next to Dolly Parton or next to Joe Biden or whatever.
Cool story.
You know? Cool story.
Ralph, Kevin in the chat says, "For me, you pick an animal that is always trying to fuck."
That is true.
Yeah, Kevin is half rabbit.
Yeah. Like a rabbit, a cat.
I don't know what to do with Andrew. I'm trying to think of something that plays
like
tennis.
what's the most
God says that I'm a Bichon Frise dog.
Oh, there you go. Right, that's so bougie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew should be an elephant so he remembers to, never be late.
Oh.
Mocking my intelligence there. I get it.
All right.
Memory.
Nobody's got anything from me, huh?
I've got the memory of a goldfish. Maybe I should be happy.
Tipton Mastiff is $582,000. So that could be Andrew.
Alden Marino says a peacock works for me. That's pretty
rare
good.
Stag beetle.
I like the peacock. Dave is a porcupine. I guess that's because he's so prickly.
Are you excited about the Mets, Dave? You parachute in on the Mets.
Ooh, I like this. Who that golfer says Dave's a goat. He'll eat anything. I like that.
That is true.
That's true.
Come on.
I do like how you phrased that I parachuted in on the Mets. That's fairly accurate. I don't really pay attention to the Mets until they make the playoffs. So I don't really pay attention to the Mets maybe once every 10 years. So this is the year, I guess, according to the Farmer's Almanac, this is the year.
You won't care about the Mets until 2034.
Probably. They always seem to just have like random good seasons, and there's never any long-term stability.
Never
it's always like one. It's just always one random good season, and then 10 years of crap, and then one random good season. But yeah, we're up 2 games to 1 on the Phillies, and this is the best of 5, so we're just one more away, and we could clinch it. Queen.
I like how he's literally never mentioned the Mets one time on any show that we've ever done with him.
Could you name?
That's how long ago. That's how long ago.
Could you?
And they're in the playoffs next week.
Could you name 3 Met players?
Back to week.
Can you name
Pete Alonso?
I like that Alden Marino said Dave is an animal without any hair, like one of those like hairless cats.
Yeah.
That's Dave.
Gross.
Yeah.
Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
Lindor, is he on the team? Is Lindor on
Harold
the team?
Strawberry.
Aren't those
Doc
hockey
Gooden,
players?
Tom Seaver.
I just learned apparently there's a new NHL team that made its debut
Who
tonight.
Who starts in the next game?
Oh yeah, they moved the
I have no
Coyotes, the Utah, whatever.
The Utah Hockey Club.
We Thomas, we.
We start. Hold on, let me go get my Mets hat to make this official. You guys keep talking.
Yeah. So Thomas, give us a donation update. Come on, people.
Let me check. So Who That Golfer is still in the lead with 20 buckaroos, and we are less than $34 away. So we are in the range.
We'll make it happen.
You know what Dave is being like with this whole Mets thing? He's like my son's friend Henrik, who's a huge Chiefs fan. You live in Charlottesville, and he's like talking trash to Cullen because he's like, the Chiefs and Mahomes beat the Saints. Like, no wonder. Yeah, shocker, they beat the Saints in Kansas City with Andy Reid coaching. Like, who saw that coming? But also, like, you've never been to Kansas City. You've never left the state. You're from Charlottesville, Virginia. Like, why do you root for the Kansas City Chiefs? I'll tell you why. Because they won a Super Bowl. And that, it's like total band. That's what Dave is right now. He's riding the bandwagon. He's claiming a team. He's already everybody hates that guy.
Thank you.
Who That Golfer? 20 buckaroo donation with no message.
Quick story, and then we'll continue on to the game picks. When I was in middle school, I was a Saints fan, and like, if you're Saints of a certain age, like me, Andrew, and a lot of people listen to podcasts, in like the 80s and early 90s, like being a Saints fan in New Orleans, like it wasn't like it is now where they have like Black and Gold Friday and like everybody's a Saints fan because they've been good. Like being a Saints fan, it was like 50-50. Like half the kids were like fans of other teams. And like 86, 87, that was when the Redskins were good. right? And they had won a couple times.
Where's
and
the
they had
hat, Dave?
And they had this girl at my school in St. Dominic. Like, she was like a big Redskins fan. Like, because they won with Doug Williams. So she's like, I'm a Redskins fan. I'm a big, huge Redskins fan. And I made her cry because I was like, you don't know any players on the Redskins. Who's Joe Theismann? Who's George Allen? And because I was a nerdy kid and I knew all the history of the NFL. And I just named off like random Redskins from the 70s and she didn't know her. She didn't know who they were. And I was like, you don't know it. You don't know it. And I made her cry.
She wasn't Indian, was she?
No, she wasn't an Indian. She wasn't an Indian with the one tear because I was littering. No, she wasn't that. We made it.
Wendell Cavalier, as always.
Thank you, Wendell.
And also Sports Boys Productions, $10 donation.
Thank you. Okay, now hold on. That was a genuine question. I didn't mean Indian Native American. I meant Indian, like from the country India, because I know somebody who grew up, and they're all Washington fans.
They're all.
I want to just address while I was gone. I did not find my hat. I don't know where my Mets hat is. But I just want to address Andrew. I take exception. I'm not a bandwagon fan. I'm not going from team to team. Once the Mets start sucking, I don't find a new team to go like. I just stop paying attention to the Mets.
Yeah, he jumped and he stayed.
Yeah, you know what? That means I don't pay attention to you when you talk about them.
EJ.
I don't care about that.
EJ says, Tiny Ralph gatekeeping makes me LOL. EJ, I wasn't gatekeeping. She was making fun of me for being a Saints fan.
He was defending himself.
So
That's
I was
great.
just
Take the shot.
I was just defending myself. So I guess I'm going to do strawberry or fire. What are we doing?
Which one? What are the percentages here?
The strawberry
Sports Boys production. That sounds fake.
The 79 proof for the fire, 99 proof for the strawberry.
Oh, you're doing the strawberry.
All right. These 99 things are disgusting. Oh, it smells
that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to
smell like. You mean it's disgusting? It's strawberry.
The puke meter is
No, it smells like, Thomas, do y'all have air fresheners for cars in Poland?
Yeah, we do. They are very popular.
Oh, really? This smells like.
Wow. Okay.
This smells like strawberry air freshener.
Yeah, I hate those days.
There we go.
Oh,
they're very
going
popular.
in.
Actually, that tracks being in any cab in New York City. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh, that is.
No table slamming.
Yeah.
Nah, it was all right. And here's the thing:
right.
It's mixing well with his hard hide strawberry whiskey.
I think this is 5.
Ooh, it's like a 6. It's pretty.
It's a 6.
It's just
that's like the weakest ever. I think.
It's
never drink that again, Ralph.
I mean, at least he's honest. He's not faking it.
I mean, you know what? I was expecting the 99 to hit a little harder.
We didn't get a table slap. That's the most disappointing part.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
6.5.
The thing is, Andrew, it's authentic. I don't want the people to think y'all think it's a giant show and it's theatrics. No, it's real. And if the shot doesn't get me, then I'll just be honest with the people. But thanks everybody for donating. Thomas, what's the streak up to now?
We are at 61 week donation streak.
All right, so it's time for game predictions. Thomas, put up the thing from last week. I have an appeal to make. Kendra Miller was inactive. I feel like that pick for me shouldn't count. I should be able to use. Kendra Miller
sucks to be your role. But guess what? The George Empire guessed the correct score. The Saints would have 13 points. He predicted. So he gets 4 points for that.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Also, plus 1 point for Kevin and Dave for predicting the Chiefs to win. And for the fantasy star of the game, Paulson Adiba with only 6 fantasy points. Nets Kevin plus 2 points. Chris Olave 3 fantasy points plus 1 for Dave. And Kendra Miller minus 2 for Ralph.
Minus 2. Not like he fumbled or anything.
Let's look at the current standings.
Fantasy if Mason Tipton would have caught that ball. Dang it.
Oh, that is true. You're not kidding.
Yeah, right. And current standings, Andrew is still in the lead, extended his lead to 11 points. 6 points for Dave. 1 point for Kevin, and right now Ralph is in the negative points with minus.
All right, 2. I guess I'll go first. See, Thomas wouldn't let me do 2 scores, and
this was golf. You'd be kicking our ass, Ralph.
I would be. I'd be making the front turn on Thursday at Augusta in like 4th place. I don't know who's going to start at quarterback.
I love when people who don't know anything about golf talk about golf.
And I want to believe, like I want to believe that like something magical is about to happen with the Saints, and like Spencer Rattler is going to be amazing, and all these people that are going to dig up my old tweets about how he's probably not going to be that good, and they're just going to dunk on me all week and like think they're doing something great. Like I'm unhappy that the Saints win, but I just don't see it. And here's the thing: like if you said this year, if you said, listen, the Saints are going to have to start Rattler or Haener for like 2 weeks, what would be the absolute worst stretch of games to start them? It would be Tampa and it would be Denver, because Denver's 4th in EPA on defense, and Todd Bowles is like the grandfather of like the exotic blitz from every angle. Like this is a nightmare for a quarterback making their first start. And I just have this feeling that I'm going to be at the game with my son and my wife, and I'm going to be in line for Dippin' Dots, and I'm not going to be mad about it because the Saints are going to be getting drilled. Whereas usually, like my son, he wants to go to the shop and buy a hat. He wants Dippin' Dot. He wants a hot dog. He wants this. He wants that. And I'm like, oh, come on, can we watch the game? I feel like Sunday, I'm not going to be that upset because I feel like the Saints are going to get their head kicked in by Tampa. So I said, I think, Thomas, did I say 23-3 Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
correct.
like that's where I am.
I guess you're picking Blake Grupe as the MVP then.
Sure, Thomas, do Blake Grupe as MVP. That's as good as any. Go ahead.
Wait, didn't you pick Grupe?
Well, I think we saw a spoiler alert. I think Thomas just messed up and showed us Brian Brissy was Kevin.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll do Kevin next, but let me.
Well, that's a terrible pick. But wait a minute. I was getting a drink. Andrew, shut up. You're giving like. Ralph is terrible at this. He's in 4th place, and you're giving him decent ideas that he's going with. Like, let him dig his own grave. Stop helping him.
You think I'm helping him by giving him a guy who can't make an extra point?
I mean,
and him telling me it's a good idea. Maybe
no, he knows.
Maybe I'm playing chess and Ralph's playing checkers. Maybe the good idea I gave him was a terrible one that he then thought was good because he only picks terrible things.
Dave,
Paulson Adebo with 6 fantasy points won last week. I have to think Grupe's going to get 2 kicks.
But here's the
6 points.
Here's the thing, Dave. Andrew wants Blake Grupe to be bathed in the Marlboro fantasy stink, so the Irish kicker can get on the roster.
Yes.
Right. No,
that's what he's doing. Well played, Andrew. Well played. So good. Get to Kevin, Thomas.
This is just a general question. I'm not planning on doing this. But if I pick Hayball, the punter, how is that? Can he even be picked? No. Is there any way to judge his fantasy?
He can,
no,
but if he blocks a punt day, if they have a punt block, Thomas will put you'll have like negative 1,000. Like,
I will disqualify you from the competition altogether.
I guess he could have a punt so bad that the kick coverage gets owned and then he makes the tackle and gets a fantasy point.
By the way, special teams were low-key ass against Kansas City.
Yes. And it wasn't that low-key either.
That's on Dave.
Picking Hayball for my guy would be about as stupid as Ralph taking Panthers money line.
All right, so Kevin picks Brissy. What else?
Yeah, let's do Kevin last since I spoiled it, and you cannot pick Brissy, just, go Dave.
Why would he pick Brissy? I don't get it.
Why not?
Out there pick.
He picked Adebo last week and he won.
He's not even a nurse. I mean, it's so weird.
How does defensive scoring work anyway? How many points do you get for like a sack?
I think 3 points. for a sack.
We saw this with the Saints during Katrina. I feel like there's this dead cat bounce every time you're like playing for your city. There's like this, motivation that you're playing for something greater. You're doing it for the city. And I feel like teams on the heel, they've been displaced and they're bonding together in New Orleans, and it's a divisional matchup. And, the Saints are injured to hell. And I just think they're going to bond together. And I do think Tampa might feel the ill effects and the downstream effects of the hurricane and devastation potentially like down the road. But I think for this week, we saw it with the Saints Katrina week 1 against the Panthers, winning an emotional game. I think the Bucs will be focused.
2021 against Green Bay.
Yeah. So I'm going to Bucs 27, Saints 10. Hard to see the Saints putting up a lot of points right now when you consider new quarterback, offensive line is dead on arrival. We don't even know if Taysom Hill's going to play. Juwan Johnson will get in the end zone. You can give me him.
And we don't know who's going to get injured in walkthrough on Saturday. So it's you never know.
Yep. 27-10, Juwan Johnson, please.
Oh, this is sad.
Put it on the board.
He's due for a monster 4-catch, 27-yard performance.
Spencer Rattler might be amazing.
Minus 2 points for Andrew incoming.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
All right, it's my turn. Yeah, I didn't think about that whole. I was thinking earlier. I was thinking how Tampa maybe they won't be so good since they've evacuated and they'll be out of sorts and practicing in Yeoman at Tulane's campus.
Tulane do shenanigans like make the showers not be warm.
Yeah, I could talk to some people. If anybody could make it happen,
don't let them make it the Glazer Club.
Yeah, but I hadn't given thought or credence to the fact that they might get up for this game to really rep their city and, like you said, the dead cat bounce kind of thing. So, but it doesn't matter. I was never going to pick the Saints to win this game. I don't think they have a chance in hell, especially not with Carr now. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to roll with Haener. I think picking Rattler. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the quarterback. I don't know. I know Nick Underhill's dropping crumbs about Rattler, but I'll say this. I don't know whether they have the balls to play Rattler. I don't know whether this coaching staff has the balls to play Rattler. I don't know whether they have. No, I don't know whether they have the youthful exuberance and fun to just say, you know what, Dave, fuck it, let's play Rattler.
That's a great point.
Stiff. This is too stiff of a coaching staff.
Dennis Allen feels like the safe, play it by the book guy. Haener's been there for 2 years. That's a good. I think, Dave, that's a good point. Like Dennis Allen doesn't strike me as a let's get weird with Spencer Rattler.
No,
if they had any balls, they would start Taysom.
Yeah, but his ribs are chalk.
First of all, Taysom's injured, and second of all, I think that's an issue now, given Kubiak's offense and how we like to run it. And we saw the first 2 games we were so successful, and a lot of that was because of Taysom and his blocking and all the stuff he does when he doesn't have the ball. So I'm not sure that. I don't know if Taysom would be the best option, but anyway, Andrew and I think are on the same page here. We were very close in score. We were kind of close in score last week too. I had the Bucs 27 also. I'm giving the Saints an extra field goal. I'm going to give Groupie one more, 13. So Bucs 27, Saints 13.
Gross.
I'm not sure who to go with here for my offensive player here, and I could go defense.
Ooh.
I'm going to go with, he had a good game. I saw somebody tweet how good of a game he had. I'm going to go with Chase Young.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Chase Young.
Wow. He's coming off a good game this past week.
Dave, does Tulane have a home game this week?
No, we have a bye. That's why.
Yeah, so I was going to say, are the Glazers going to show up early and be in the Glazer Club? But I guess not, because they don't have.
Wait, you already picked Chase Young, Dave.
Oh, I did. Oh, okay.
First week, man.
Points, Thomas.
No,
he's trying to scam us.
I'm not trying to scam. That's weird. Why did I do that? Okay. All right. Let me go.
Good thing I double checked.
No, good thing you did. I'm gonna go. You know who? I'm gonna go with Carl Granderson.
Oh,
see that? I don't like
all
that
right,
because that if he does really well, then Juge gets to talk about how that's his UDFA son. Terrible idea.
And then addressing your earlier point, it's not unusual for the Glazers to be at a game at Tulane. They come pretty regularly.
Oh, wow. It's nice. All right,
they paid for the damn thing. Might as well use it.
It's amazing.
Did Kevin make this unanimous?
What do you think?
I think
probably,
it's the Bucs.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't see how there's any way you could have watched yesterday's game and picked the Saints.
So let's reveal it then.
Oh
my God!
Wow!
What an idiot! Saints 20.
Kevin picks the Saints.
Bucs 17. Wow.
20-17. He thinks the Saints. He's feeling himself some Spencer Rattler magic.
I mean, listen. Here's what I want to end, because I like to end on a positive note. If the Saints pull this off Sunday and it's Spencer Rattler, where would it rank in most fun Saints Twitter, social media, our post-game show days if they pull this out?
It's right up there with maybe CJ, GJ, Mike Evans. That was fun.
I mean, the CD Deuce game Sunday night against Tampa was pretty amazing when they won 9-0.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, the Green Bay game 2021 was pretty amazing. Trying to think.
Atlanta beating Atlanta, Jameis Winston, the comeback.
That was fun.
Season opener.
The Buttception game in 2017. The Buffalo game, weirdly, the audio is like pre-Thomas level, so it's not great. But if you could ever find that podcast where they just beat the absolute crap out of the Bills and they ran the ball like 30 times in a row to end the game, that was one of the most fun like podcasts we've ever done, because that was kind of the moment in 2017 where
they shut them down, right?
Yeah, and it was like that was like the moment in 2017 where we were like, oh my God, the Saints are a Super Bowl team again. And like they're like the 7-9 malaise and all that, like it's done. Like we're a contender. This is going to be fun for a while. So that's fun. But I mean, if they win with Spencer Rattler on Sunday, like we are gonna lose our minds. Spencer Rattler is the embodiment of our hopes and dreams as a fan base. Like they're like, for the people that hate DA, and even the people who like us are kind of like DA agnostic, we all kind of agree like the Saints are in this weird place of like not great, not terrible. What's going to happen? Like if Spencer Rattler is good, like you will see a path out to like relevance, and you'll be like, we have our quarterback. This is amazing. We can get out of here. We can still dominate this crummy division if Michael Penix, because he's 40 years old, if he's no one good. So like, I just like, man, we need something. We need something good, even though the first 2 weeks were amazing. If we can just, even if it's fake, even if Spencer Rattler's not good, just give us that one moment. I mean, Andrew, you know Saints stuff. Can you think of like a random like Saints like moment quarterback game where they're like, it was just fun and amazing, but it was a complete fraudulent? I'm trying to think of one. Maybe some people in the chat can help me. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like a quarterback
where
game.
A quarterback was fraudulent but won games.
Yeah, like it was just
Danny
like
Werfel's
what the hell?
3-0 start.
That's a good one. But I mean,
weeks 1 and 2.
By the way, if the Saints win on Sunday, it'll be the first time a Saints drafted quarterback has won has started and won a football game since Danny Werfel in 1998.
Well, I mean, John Fourcade going on that heater.
Ooh, yeah,
that's in the 80s.
It's Forsad.
I'm trying to think of like this mirage that like got us like temporarily excited about a quarterback.
Kerry Collins
Collins kind of had like a half heater. Yeah.
They who did they beat one
the
game?
Giants.
Was it the Giants or was it the Cowboys? It was the Cowboys. They like stomped the Cowboys into the ground. Oh, Nick Nilsson, Jake Delhomme, 1999 on Christmas Eve. Yeah. That was I don't know. See, though, the Saints were so bad then. Like they were like, I think they were like 2-12 or something. Like they were really bad. I don't know. Like I don't know that we had any.
I think Werfel's 3-0 start has to be the answer.
Fraudulent. Yeah.
That's about as fraudulent as it's ever been.
But deep down in places we don't talk about, we knew it was fraudulent.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's end it with this.
We rode that wave though.
We will.
Let's end it with this quick around the horn. Not who you want to start, who will start. Quarterback. I'll go. Haener.
Andrew.
Haener.
I mean, I want to say sexy Jake Haener, but like, here's the thing. Like,
this is who will start, not who you want to start.
I want Haener to start, but it's Rattler, man. Like Underhill doesn't drop a reasons to start Spencer Rattler article like out of the blue. Like he just like that's not Nick. Like that's not how Nick Underhill rolls. Like he's getting that from
that's the team. That's the team telling them, hey, we need you to start easing everybody into this idea.
I don't think anyone needs to be eased into this.
No, we don't need to be eased in. We don't need Spencer Rattler to buy us a drink. We don't need him to tell us we're pretty. All he needs to do is say, come up to my apartment, baby. We're
balls deep in the Rattler idea.
we are.
It's not going to take much.
It isn't going to take much.
One completed pass to a lot.
You had me at hello.
Yeah,
that's right, Thomas. Recap. Thank all the people who donated during the show.
All right, thanks guys for all the generosity. We reached the donation streak for the 61st straight weeks, thanks to Sports Boys Production, to Wendell Cavalier, to Run Amok, and to the MVP with $40. Who is the one and only Who Dat Golfer? Congratulations!
Thank you, Who Dat Golfer. Remember, DM Thomas on Discord so you can tell us what to write on the whiteboard. Today it was Haener or Rattler, but next week it can be whatever you want it to be. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the show and we made you laugh,
I have a feeling next week it might be Dude, Where's My Car?
Thomas, file that one away for a headline for the thumbnail on YouTube for next week. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the show and we made you laugh, consider supporting the show by going to patreon.com/saintshappyhour. Give us a shot. Every little bit helps make this show and community better. And don't forget to follow us on socials and wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss any episodes. Thanks to Dave. Thanks to Andrew for getting here, even in spite of all the bus troubles, and to Thomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland, even after I woke him up in the dead of night and was like, dude, we got to go an hour later because Saints had crazy breaking news day. He's the best. So until next time, the bar is closed.